What's going on, guys? It's Greg from ECD, and today we have a really fun review for you that I'm really pumped about. Been wanting to do this one for a while. This is the Signature Sidewallz head. So this company is a cool new lacrosse startup. I got to talk to the guy who founded it. His name is Tom. He played lacrosse at Air Force and now serves in the Air Force. He's always been really passionate about lacrosse gear and also about giving back to the community. So he's using most of the money he's making while he's in the Air Force from this company to give back to the lacrosse community, which I think is great. He's serving our country, which we really appreciate, and it's a really cool product. So basically, the whole idea of this is a better way to customize heads rather than dyeing them. I've done a lot of heads. I know there's a lot of issues with dyes. It can be time consuming if you don't have a vinyl cutter to get really cool designs. You have to boil the heads, which isn't great for the plastic. So this is a really cool alternative. So basic specs, there are two heads. There's gonna be the Flash and the Force, and I'll talk about that a little bit more later, but this is the Flash, which has more of an open sidewall design, and this is the Force. So on the weight, the Flash is 5.5 ounces, which, as we talked about, above 5 is a little bit heavy for an offensive head. This is definitely on the beefier side of offense, and it is very stiff, so it is heavy for an attackman that likes a really lightweight head. You might not like the head itself, but a lot of guys, like two-way midfielders, can use a head like this. So that's a personal preference thing for you guys to decide on. And then the Force, 5.7 ounces, obviously adds these struts in, makes it a little stiffer, more of a D-midi, long stick midfielder, close defense kind of option. So looking at it just as a head first, before we talk about the really cool options with it, you've got a face shape, which I actually really liked. It was nice and pinched, good flare right about halfway up the head where this big strut is. Scoop, really nice and rounded, really well designed. You're going to see that it doesn't have a lot going on as far as aesthetics, because the main point is to customize these things. Overall, I would describe this head as really functional. It's just all around well designed. It's clean. It has everything you need and really nothing you don't. So for stringing, I was pleasantly surprised how this strung a pocket. So again, there's no frills, no flashiness here, just holes that are really solid and big enough to do a top string, a couple big ones at the top, smaller round ones down the bottom, but plenty of them, and a good face shape, a good scoop shape makes for a really nice pocket. So this one turned out great. Simple pattern to go with the simple design, just some ones and some knots to pull it down, shifts up a little high, shifts a little low, good channel, all around great performance. So as far as stringing, it doesn't have all the bells and whistles that some other heads have, but it still strings up a really great pocket, and I really do like that face shape. So now let's get into the customization options, which is really the whole point of the Signature Sidewallz. So the price here is $200 for a head, which is really high for lacrosse heads, just expensive in general. If you're looking at the value you're getting compared to like a fully custom dyed head, it's not that much more expensive, and there's some really cool options here. So if you compare this to like a Nike ID with shoes, that's obviously way more expensive than just buying shoes off the shelf. And that's kind of what this is. It's like a Nike ID for lacrosse heads. So basically you go on their website, sidewallz.com with a Z, I'll put it down in the description, and they have a customizer. And this is the kind of customizer I always had a lot of fun playing with when I was a kid. You know, you just sit there and you design the gloves or the helmets, but this one has a ton of options. So first off, you can put a design here in the big area, upload any logo that you want as well. So if you, obviously they've got our crab here, you can also do a number there if you want. You can do the same with a number down here on the throat. And then for the overall head, you can literally get any pattern you want. So they have tons of really cool custom patterns that are things you wouldn't even be able to dye on a head if you wanted to, because they're so complex. And then they also have the ability to upload your own images. So you can see some of these are very specific to us. Run through them real quick. This one's got the ECD Lacrosse, the crab logo all over it, blue faded yellow, multicolored design, really impossible to dye. And then we get into some of the crazier stuff. So this one has pictures of our striker mesh all across the top, our crab logo, and down here are actually pictures from Team ECD. So we've got like Nate and Brian and the uniforms and the helmets. This stuff looks like perfect photos and would otherwise be impossible to dye. And then we've got one for ECD Pro Deemer Class with the RBDC logo, and we've got tons of pictures from him from all through his career, and they're really detailed and they look great. It's just a really cool look that you couldn't achieve any other way. And when I first looked at it, I thought it was sublimation or hydro dip or something like that, but I really don't think it is. And the pattern is super durable. You know, it's not going to scratch off very easily, and it's so detailed and continuous and wrapped around that I honestly have no idea how they're making these things, but they're really cool. So in conclusion, it's a stick that's a lot of fun. It's going to give you a lot more options than any other stick out there. It is expensive, but if you're looking for something head-to-toe custom that nobody else could have or do, the way to go is going to be Signature Sidewallz. So I recommend you hop on the customizer, check some stuff out, upload some photos, make some funny ones, send them to your friends. It's a lot of fun to play around with, and let us know down in the comments what you designed. So thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't. Let us know in the comments what you think of the head. Have a great day. Yeah, count it.